friends. How's everybody doing? Hope they're doing well. I have returned to work. That is why I'm in a big white room, but all is well. I'm still thankful that I have this opportunity. Not everyone has jobs, so it is what it is. One thing that I wanted to talk about today was just an interesting thing that I watched yesterday. Was it something that I watched or was it something that I read? No, it was what I read inside of A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. So I'm almost done with the book. I got like 50 pages left, so you guys don't have to hear me talk about this. Have to hear me talk about this book much longer, but granted, it's a really good book. But one thing that he was talking about is how we as humans see ourselves as content, right? Like we associate ourselves with the material version of ourselves. So, like, for example, if I ask you, who are you? You will say your name, your job, whatever it is that you attach yourself to in the material world. And what he was saying is that you are not your content. You are not these things that are attached to you. You are the consciousness behind that. And one thing that he used as an example was how, people look up at the stars, and you can look up at the stars and just feel like such attachment to it. And when you're looking into space, you're really looking into nothing. And the idea of it is how interesting that it's like an interesting paradox. Like you're looking into nothing but everything at the same time. And what he was saying is that when you feel the energy within yourself, you are that energy consciousness. You are the energy of the universe and space itself. And I think it's just like interesting in terms of kind of like if you look at somebody, like if somebody passes away, if somebody dies, their body is left behind, their content is left behind. But if you were to say you are not your content, I think it's absolutely true, because if somebody passes away, the energy that is behind the content is what disappears. Like you can't, once somebody dies, like all of that stuff is left behind. Like the body is there, all of the content is there, everything that was associated with them, such as their family and what they did for a living and their hobbies and all of this other stuff, that is left while the essence of them disappears. So I think it's just like an interesting and profound thought of what am I and what is everything around me outside of its content? What is it energetically? And what I was just thinking about is, how we experience each other and how we connect to one another. Because if I am consciousness and you are consciousness and we all are a piece of consciousness, then I should be able to feel connected to you just energetically. And if space is also energetically consciousness, then we should be able to connect to one another via the space between us. I can't really think of a good way to explain it, but there's a book called The Divine Matrix, which I'm considering reading next, that I think talks about and defines really well the energy that is between the space, in the space of me and you and everything that I touch, how that space is nothing, but it also is everything. Like the space is a vehicle for us to be able to connect to one another. And I think that there's a lot of thoughts that come to my mind as I think deeper into this. But one of the thoughts is that, things like telepathy, I guess that's how you pronounce it, like me being able to communicate with you just through our minds should be 100% possible if me and you are connected through consciousness and space. When people are clairvoyant or claircognizant in terms of they just know things or they can see things, I think that what that is whatever the sense is that they have, such as sight and touch and feel and feeling intuitive guidance, they just have a stronger sense to connecting to that energetic vehicle that is between us. I think it's a good way to explain how tarot works. When I tell people that I'm a tarot reader and I try to explain to them what it is, I tell them that energetically, tarot is a medium of that allows for me to connect my energy and your energy together. And astrology, I think, is the same way. It is a vehicle or a tool that allows for us to be able to have a tangible method of reading energy. That's just what it is. And I can't think of a scientific way to explain it, but in my opinion, that's just kind of how the world works. But that wasn't the most interesting thing that I had as a thought that was associated to that. I think what was most interesting when I thought about this was that if I am operating in the eternal present, in terms of there's nothing else that exists outside of this present moment, when I experience you or I experience another person, I see them as I see them as their energy. I don't see them as the content. And what I'm trying to do is be better about experiencing and seeing and feeling and sensing other people as in terms of how I am experiencing their energy. Not necessarily because I'm reading them, but because I want to be able to experience them outside of their content. Now, why is this important? It's important because I think the ego automatically wants to protect you from others. I understand that the ego was created in order to create safety for you as you were becoming an adult. I understand that. But the ego is not interested in feeling the energy of others. The ego is interested in creating any narrative in order for it to feel stronger. And so when I experience other people and I see them as their content, I think it's easy for my ego to react in a way that is not supportive to what my goal is as a spirit worker or a psychic intuitive or whatever you want to call me, or the experiences that I'm trying to have on this planet. It does not allow for me to complete my own personal mission. So, for example, if I meet someone, like let's say, perfect example, I'm at my job, right? And I work with people that are in very high, titles, job titles. If I experience them by their content, then my ego wants to be intimidated. My ego wants to carry myself in a different manner outside of the way that I carry myself on a regular basis, carry myself in a way that is not true to my nature. So I start to put on a mask because I'm experiencing this person in regards to their content. But if I take away the content and I experience you as a bundle of energy and I use my intuition to feel my energy and connect to your energy, then I think that allows for me to experience you as a person, not as a person, excuse me, but it allows for me to experience you on a soul level versus experience you at this superficial level. So then when I see you as energy, I no longer feel intimidated. I feel like there's a level playing field there. And I'm able to sense where you are vibrationally. And if you are in a high vibrational place and low vibrational place, and I am there, I'm then I then am empowered to choose how I want to interact with you. And I'm not doing it from a place of fear. I'm doing it from a place of love, for myself and love and respect for consciousness in general. Because if you are in a low vibrational place, it is then my responsibility to myself to either take that as an opportunity to support you getting into a high vibrational place, or that is an opportunity for me to protect myself and protect my energy and, put a boundary or barrier there and just take myself out of the picture. Wow, I got to 11:11 as soon as I said that. But yeah, like I think that seeing someone as energy is empowering. And then like on the other end, let's say that I am walking around or I go to the grocery store and I meet like the cashier and I experience their energy as being high vibrational and wonderful. And from there, I feel empowered to share my energy with them. I feel empowered to open up. I feel empowered to, connect to them on a deeper level spiritually. I mean, granted, you don't have to like give them your number, but you start to really see people for who they are when you experience them as their energy versus whatever the circumstances are that are between you. And I think for a lot of extroverted people, because like, for example, like I've always heard all of my life that I'm able to talk to anybody. Like I can go somewhere and I can make a friend with anybody. And I think that for extroverted people, you are just able to connect to other people's energy when they are in a high vibrational place. It's just easier for you to be able to do that. And not saying that extroverted people can't do that. I just think that, I'm not saying that introverted people can't do that, because I do think that there are introverted people that are able to connect to other people that in a high vibrational place. They are just more protective of their energy and they don't share their energy with just anybody because it's draining. It absolutely is draining to share your energy with other people. 1000% is. But I think when you are a spirit worker, it's hard not to. It's hard not to, especially when I was in a place where I was interested in doing like mediumship and things like that. Like I would just talk to somebody and I could feel their ancestors, or I could feel somebody trying to communicate with them. And that is exhausting. That is a super exhausting experience. So, from there, I had to stop researching and engaging in content that had to do with, learning how to connect with people that are on the other side, because my higher self started to teach me how to do that. And I started to have experiences that I didn't enjoy. Now, there are some people that are able to do that and that like doing it, but I just personally, I don't like doing it. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because I feel like I'm rambling, but at the end of the day, like, I think that it's interesting experiencing life from a place where you are sensing the energy around you. And it's not just with people. You can sense the energy within a room. You can sense the energy when you're touching things or when you have food in front of you. I just encourage you, whether you're a spirit worker or not, but I feel like I'm starting to lean towards creating content for spirit workers and psychic intuitive. So if you are, then hi, welcome. But if you are a psychic intuitive, I would just encourage you to practice operating within your day of seeing people beyond their eyes, beyond their humanly form, and see them for their energy and just, see if it feels different. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.